I've just met a bear who's new to the area and looking for a clan. He seems like a decent guy, so I was wondering if I could bring him to the clubhouse this weekend to see how he fits in."
That got her attention. Nikki looked away from the computer and leaned back in her chair, smiling to herself. Piper hadn't mentioned any guys in quite some time.
"Oh, really? Don't say it like that. We're just friends, and I think we could help him out. Besides, he's got a medical background, and I know we're needing someone in that position."
The timing couldn't have been better. The previous medic they'd had moved out of the state for a new job. They could skate by for a little while without a doc in their clan, but having one of their own was much safer than taking someone to the hospital if anything happened. Their physiology was obviously different. They couldn't risk anyone taking notice. Nikki wasn't completely sure about bringing in someone new for the job, but it didn't hurt to check him out.
"Sure, why not? I'm here anyway, and it's a better opportunity than a formal meeting." "That's what I thought, nice and relaxed. We'll be there in an hour or so."
They hung up, and Nikki once again lost herself in her work. She enjoyed keeping things straight for the clan. It was one of the many ways she took care of her people, even though pushing around a little bit of paper probably didn't seem all that important to anyone else. But she maintained their money and their connections in the rest of the world, both of which could keep them safe if anything should happen. She was just submitting a payment to their attorney for helping out one of their members who had been blackmailed when she heard a new voice in the clubhouse. Nikki froze in her place, listening without looking up. The newcomer was in the front foyer, and while she couldn't quite understand what he was saying, his voice was low and smooth. It had alternated with Piper's voice, and something lurched inside Nikki's stomach. They were approaching, and Nikki resumed her work. She didn't need to appear as though she'd just been sitting there listening to them and waiting for them when they walked in.
"Hey, Nick,"
Piper chirped as she escorted the newcomer in.
"this is Drake Sheridan. He's brand new in the area and came from the East Coast."
Nikki stood and started to come around to shake his hand, but the edges of her vision blackened. She leaned on the corner of her desk as the wave of dizziness passed. "Are you all right?" Drake took a step forward, but she waved him off.
"I just stood up too fast. Sorry about that. It's very nice to meet you."
She forced a smile and shook his hand, immediately feeling strange once again. Drake was a shockingly gorgeous man, the kind of guy you saw on TV, but certainly not in Eureka. His short brown hair was styled with a casual look that was somewhere between messy and neat, and it suited him. He carried himself with a confidence that didn't overflow into arrogance, and his pristine smile was reflected in those dark blue eyes that reminded Nikki of the sky just after sunset. "It's nice to meet you, too," he replied in that smooth voice of his, "and I truly appreciate the chance to join your clan. It's never easy when moving to a new area."
"Do you move around a lot?"
She'd felt the heat of his palm against hers as they shook hands, and now, even with her hands draped at her sides, she could still feel the imprint of it like a brand against her skin.
"What the hell's the matter with me?"
"Wherever my job takes me," Drake explained. "I haven't had the privilege of settling down for a while, but I'm hoping my current job here will make things a little more stable for me." He smiled again. Nikki's heart leaped into her throat, but that was nothing compared to everything else she was experiencing. The sensation of another creature fighting and growling inside her, something much bigger than herself, made her skin feel tight. Her bear was trying to get out.
"That's good,"
she said lamely, trying her best to keep cool. Piper had been watching the exchange with interest.
"What do you think?"
she pressured. But the truth was that Nikki wasn't really thinking at all. She couldn't. It took too much concentration to control herself, but that didn't make sense. Why should this man make her feel this way? She'd already found her fated matches, but the thrashing of her inner beast and the feeling that the floor was rolling like an ocean beneath her told her something else was going on.